guys, you may recognise the Cupra Born next to me because it has already made a feature on this channel a year ago. This is the all-new Cupra Born e-Boost, Cupra's first fully electric performance car. But now it's back, we've got the biggest spec and we're going to be putting it to the ultimate test and the ultimate review because we're going through the 5 things I love and hate about the Cupra Born. Starting off with the things I love and starting strong with number 1 is the styling and the looks of this thing. And I don't just mean outside but inside too. Cupra know exactly what they're doing when it comes to making a car look good. And the Born is no exception. Even the base model Cupra Born looks fantastic, but being the V3 trim, we get the 20-inch Hurricane Aero wheels. The quality also continues inside with copper trim throughout, a leather steering wheel and of course the Cupra button, plus a 12-inch infotainment screen. Number 2 is attention to detail. Now I've loved Cupra for things like the copper trim everywhere, and the Born takes things to the next level, even down to the little Born here on the rear light. You've got all the diamonds filtering through not just the outside of the car but the inside too. Now inside you get things like the gorgeous bucket seats, and on there are copper flakes everywhere. Plus embossed logos in the headrest, ambient lighting, as well as diamond and copper everywhere that you look. Number 3 is going to be the range. Now the one next to me is the top spec, meaning we get a 77 kilowatt hour battery, and that is the usable amount of battery as well. Now the range of this has been fantastic, and I mean even better than stated. Cupra state a range of 340 miles for a single charge, and in normal mode you can see we predicted 325 at 98%. And after a 270-mile journey of not driving the most efficiently, we had 19% left and 62 miles, meaning a total range of 332 miles. So I was pretty impressed and my range anxiety was very low. Number 4 is, of course, going to be the drive of the Born. Now, like any EV, it's super quiet, it soaks up the bumps surprisingly well. And it does everything an electric car should be, but that's not why I've put the drive as one of my favourite things. It's because you can actually have a lot of fun with this. Like I've said before, it's kind of like an electric version of a hot hatch. And whilst it's not got the most power compared to some hot hatches, as soon as you pop it into Cupra mode, you do get quite a punchy kickback. But that's not what hot hatches are all about. They're about handling. And the Born, although it's heavier with it being an electric car, it's very, very well balanced. And it's because the batteries are located in the centre and low down, meaning it's got a low centre of gravity. And it can take the corners pretty well. Like so. Now on day-to-day driving, you've got your regen braking mode. That is pretty good, especially if you're an EV newbie. It's not stopping you dead, but it's giving you enough regen to save your range. And you can even put it into, you've got comfort, you've got Cupra, and you even have your own range mode. So if you do need to save a little bit, you've got the option there as well. The steering is well balanced. It's a great package altogether. The brakes, although a little bit spongy, it still does what you need it to do, and you can really feel the pedal, which in some electric cars actually, it's hit and miss. I loved the Cupra Born the first time round I had it. I loved driving it around everywhere, and having it again, it's still no different. Number 5, we're going to come into the technology. Now even things like driver systems, they are pretty spot on this. They're not too invasive. But my favourite thing is going to be the infotainment system, the massive screen right here. Don't forget the Beat sound system, but everything is super easy to use and literally has everything you need. Literally everything. But what are the 5 things I don't like quite so much? Number 1 is going to be the gear selector. Now for me, I prefer one in the centre console, and I've found that quite apparent because even though it is up here, I keep going to the centre console to try and find my gears. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but for me, it's just a little bit abnormal. Number 2, the fact there's only 4 seats. Now the Cupra Born is coming into the market as a hot hatch EV, and to me a hatchback should have 3 seats in the rear, but instead you get 1 and 2 and a weird little pocket in the middle, plus some cup holders. Where's the 5th seat, Cupra? Number 3, it's going to be the fact the heads-up display is actually quite high up, so for someone like me this is quite comfortable, and I can just see about a third of the edge of it, meaning if I wanted to use the heads-up display I'd have to sit like this. Not very comfortable. Number 4, the one thing the Cupra Born lacks compared to the other Cupras is physical buttons. They're all just a little bit flimsy, and especially on the infotainment system where it's kind of a swipe motion and not too accurate. I much prefer my physical buttons. And number 5, the Cupra Born was the first ever electric vehicle I drove. So for me, every EV I drive now is compared to the Cupra Born. It will always hold a special place in my heart because it's trying to pull together EVs and hot hatches, and it does it pretty damn well. So there we have it, guys. You all know the drill. To make my journey your journey, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.